Welcome to ConvoCourses. This is the podcast. I do this every week, and this week's episode is going to be about. Well, I think the thing I'm going to start off with is plan of action and milestones, since that's the first question that somebody asked me. I'm really just going to go through questions. I've gotten so many responses that I really have to address them this time, like for real this time. So, okay, here we go. I'm going to switch screens and show you guys what I see here. All right, so I'm gonna go through as many questions as I can. I got a whole bunch of people asking me questions. Okay, what did I just do? I just did something wrong. Okay, I got a whole bunch of people asking me a bunch of questions, and I'm gonna go ahead and answer these questions. This is a whole bunch of resume ones. I don't know if you want to stay around for that. It's gonna be pretty monotonous, but I'm gonna go through them. So first question is coming from YouTube, and somebody said that they're responding to my question about plan of action and milestones. Let me see if I can make this a little bit bigger so everybody can see it. Plan of action and milestone. And just to kind of, if you didn't know, like a plan of action and milestone, what that is an organization has to respond to when an organization has items that has vulnerabilities in on their network, what happens is they're supposed to remediate them in a certain period of time that's determined by the organization. So, for example, let's say it's I'm trying to pick an agency without getting in trouble here. Say it's Lockheed Martin. Like Lockheed Martin has systems, and their policy states that they have to remediate and I've never worked for Lockheed Martin, so I'm just guessing. But let's say that whenever they have a server that has an update that's necessary, they say in their policy they have to remediate that policy within 24 hours, right? Whatever, right? If it's an urgent, it's 24 hours. If it's a low, it's 7 days or a month or whatever. They have a policy, and every organization is supposed to have something like that. Well, let's say that they have this same finding. They can't remediate it in time. They can't fix it in time. And what you do is what's called an action plan, or a plan of action and milestone. And what it does is it says, okay, at this amount of time, we couldn't fix it in 3 days like we're supposed to, but we can fix it in 14 days, or we can fix it in 6 months. And here's how we're going to fix it, and here's the point of contact, and here's the milestones. First, we have to order the product. Then it's going to get connected to the network, and then we're going to scan it on the test network, and then we're going, and you just keep the milestone. That's each one of those is the milestones, and you have a date and a time when all those things are going to get done. That's a plan of action and milestone. It's an agency, an organization doing their due diligence to fix the item. So let's get to his question. So now we've framed what we're talking about here. Let's talk about what the question is. So the question in the video was, what if we cannot meet the plan of action and milestone dates? Okay, he's saying that, and the person who's talking to me says, we never did get an answer to this question. I was thinking about preparing to write a risk acceptance to the authorizing officer. Any different answers? All right, so first of all, this is part one. I have another part two to it. I don't think we released it yet, but neither here nor there. I'm going to answer it right now. So there's a couple things you can do if you couldn't meet the let's say you couldn't you have the plan of action and milestone. You put the dates in there. You're saying 6 months from now we're going to fix it, and 6 months comes and goes, and you can't fix it. There's a couple things that the organization can do. One of them is to, like he said, do what's called a risk acceptance. And all that is the agency saying, hey, we can't fix this thing. Here's why we can't fix it. However, we have compensating controls. That means we didn't fix this, but we have a firewall but we've separated it from the network, or we have a new firewall in place that helps it so that it minimizes the risk. We know the organization is saying, we know about this risk. We can't fix it this way. However, we have these other controls in place, and we're just going to have to, basically, we have to live with it. And maybe within a 3-year period, we're planning on upgrading everything. Right now, we don't have the money, right? So that's a plan of action, a risk acceptance. That's one thing you can do. Another thing you can do, if you couldn't meet the POA&M date, besides a risk acceptance or risk acknowledge or whatever the name is, you could do, because different organizations call it different things, but it's pretty much the same thing. They know there's a risk and they're identifying it, and here's some other things that we have in place to lower the risk. But another thing you can do besides a risk acceptance is move the date. Like you could just say, okay, the plan of action and milestone date, we missed this date. However, we're going to extend it 3 more months. We just need 3 more months. And so you basically, some organizations can keep moving it out, right? But it's probably a bad practice. You don't want to move it out too much. So sometimes an organization, what they'll say is like, look, you can redo the plan of action milestone 3 times. After that, no more, because they're trying to minimize the risk. We're talking about large organizations. We're talking about gigantic departments that have thousands of employees and thousands and thousands of devices and stuff that's internet worked on. That's all over the network, right? So you can't, if you make it too loose, then people are going to do crazy stuff and keep pushing because you could just, in theory, you could just keep pushing the plan of action milestone out forever. Like it's 6 months and then another 6 months and then another 6 months, and you could just keep doing that. But typically an organization says, okay, you can only do it twice, and you can't do it for criticals. You can only do it for things that are high or medium, but if it's a critical, you can't do a plan of action and milestone more than once, or whatever. Organizations have different plans of how they do that. Victoria Blessed says, can you have several plan of action documents, or all POAMs have to be consolidated? I've seen it. Let me think about that. So if I'm understanding your question, can you have several documents? So I've seen it done different ways. I've seen it to where they group plan of action and milestones for one type of vulnerability. So I've seen it to where, let's say you had let me think of one that's not gonna get me in trouble. Let's say you had let's say you had a password. You didn't have multi-factor authentication, right? So you have passwords, but you don't have multi-factor, and the organization needs multi-factor authentication, and maybe so the control is dealing with access controls for logging in. So one system has a multi-factor authentication, but it doesn't do it for everybody. One system doesn't have multi-factor authentication at all. One has multi-factor authentication, but it has it with your email, and the organization doesn't want that. They want you to have fingerprints or something. And so what you could do is lump all of those plan of action milestones together and say, we have a you could word it like, say it's AC. I don't remember what the multi-factor authentication one is. You could call them AC2 or whatever. We're dealing with multi-factor authentication across the internal network, right? And then under that you have like 15 different vulnerabilities dealing with the same thing. I've seen them done like that, like for different systems. So can you have several documents or can you have several documents or plan of action and milestones, or do they have to be consolidated for different systems? I've seen them done. Normally they're on different systems. Like if you have system A and system B and they both have multi-factor authentication, normally you'll have both those systems will have a different set of plan of action and milestones. This one will have plan of action and milestones for multi-factor authentication, and then this one will have its own multi-factor authentication plan of action milestone. I don't normally see them like across different systems. Like if, like you wouldn't, I haven't seen. I'm trying to think of a time when I've seen that done before. You know, I personally haven't seen it that done before because, and the reason why is because you're usually dealing with different points of contact. You're dealing with like you're dealing with different stakeholders. Like there's going to be a different set of system administrators on this system and a different set on this system, and then they have their own like part of my lip came out. They're gonna have their own schedules. So yeah, I haven't. I'm trying to think of one where it was on one plan of action milestone for multiple systems. I suppose you could. It really depends on the organization. Like if the organization says, yeah, we have this access, we have this multi-factor authentication that's going across system A and system B, we're just going to put it on one plan of action milestone because the same people are dealing with the same thing. I suppose you could do something like that. I'm just saying I personally have not seen it. Normally this system will have its own and this system will have it. And the reason why you probably want to do it like that is because something could happen to this system that's not happening to this system, and it slows. Like this system gets fixed and then this system doesn't. But if you have the same plan of action milestone on both, then if this one is fixed and this one isn't, then the plan of action milestone is not done yet. You know what I mean? So that's why you don't normally want to put them on the same system, because all it does is hurt, especially if you're an ISSO. Like that's not ideal for you, because like I said, if one gets fixed and one doesn't, guess what? You still have a plan of action and milestone, and it doesn't go away. So, and plan of action milestones are like, they can be brutal. Like they're not fun because they just keep coming back. You know, like you want to get rid of them as soon as possible. Victoria says, so can you submit several POAMs for FedRAMP or risk assessment? Okay, I don't understand that question. Can you submit several POAMs for FedRAMP system, for a cloud-based FedRAMP system, or risk assessment? That's the part I don't understand. The or part I don't understand. Can you do several for FedRAMP? I'm not sure. I don't know the answer to that question. I'm sorry, Victoria. Okay, let me go to the next question. I hope that answers the question for that one. And let me just go ahead and answer this just in case this care prof doesn't see this. So I'm going to say yes, you can do a risk acceptance, or you can push out the date for the POAM, or you can push out the date for the POAM. I've seen that done with both those. I don't see what other thing you could do except ignore it. Okay, Victoria says, I meant, can you submit several plan of action and milestone documents for FedRAMP? So the last system, I can just tell you my experience, Victoria. So the last FedRAMP system that I did, now this was a while ago, it's like 2 years ago, on a system with a government agency, and we did a FedRAMP. We had several plan of action and milestones for that system. So I'm just telling you my experience. So we had a cloud-based system. We were going through FedRAMP with it, with the cloud provider and everything, and we were logged into FedRAMP, and we had plan of action milestones on stuff we couldn't fix. Like something would come down. We might have had like 6 or 7 different plan of action and milestones on that one system. So from my experience, yes. So I can't speak for anybody else's experience, but yes. And we submitted more than one. So, and I suppose some organizations have limits on it, but I've had ones that had hundreds of plan of action milestones on them. Not fun at all. Let me see if there's other questions here before I dive into the brutal resumes. I got like 5 resumes, and I don't know if people watch those. They're pretty brutal. So right now I'm just kind of looking for some fun questions I can answer on. Okay, I'm gonna do one more question. 2 more. I'll do 2 more. 2 more questions that come from YouTube before I go into my resume stuff here. All right. So the next question is: just found your resume and I am hooked. Whoa, really? Joe, just found your channel. I'm sorry, I can't read. Just found your channel and I am hooked. This man has a serious problem if he's hooked on risk management framework documentation. A serious money problem, because you're going to get paid when you do this job. I am glad I found someone I can relate to, being a black veteran, getting into cybersecurity. Just started my degree in cybersecurity. Keep putting out great content. Yeah, absolutely, man. Appreciate that. Appreciate the heads up. Always good to see some positivity out there like that. It's really cool. Okay. I read this one before, but I want to just share this with everybody. It says, just retired from the military last year, and I didn't realize how much I was taken care of. So I totally agree with you. Okay, he's talking about I kind of gave a breakdown of my own personal experience getting out of the military, and then struggling when I first got out and everything. He says the 6-figure goal really depends on the area you live in and their security clearance. Yeah, that's true. Because if you live on the East Coast, it's pretty easy. 6 figures is not a big deal. I know that sounds crazy to some. If you live in Arkansas or Alabama or Mississippi or something, 6 figures sounds insane. But on the East Coast, 6 figures is not a big deal at all. I mean, it's sometimes not even enough to live. Barely, I wouldn't say barely enough, but it's very expensive in some states. Anyway, for example, I am I'm in an entry level position, making that 100K or more, and I'm also in a high cost of living area, and I have a clearance. Yes. We're currently looking to move, so I'm scouting jobs right now, and I realize that I'll have to drop pay if I stay doing the same thing. So I want to keep about the same salary. Well, let me give you a tip on this. I can probably, if you happen to be ever watching this, or anybody happens to be in the same situation that they're moving, let me just kind of enlighten you on what's going on with this current economy, what's going on. And I know this from personal experience. So what you could do is, if you want to make a higher salary, but you're going to live in a place that doesn't pay 6 figures, you're trying to keep your 6 figures, what you could do is look for a remote job. So there's tons of organizations that pay, especially now that many jobs are shifting to have the ability to do remote work. Now, if you have a classified job, that is different. Like if you're doing purely classified work and you got to work in a skiff or something, then yeah, that is different. But that said, there are jobs that pay 6 figures that you work remotely, and you can work in any state you want. Like right now, I work remotely. I could work in Arkansas, Mississippi, Ohio. I could work in all these states that don't have a high cost of living. I could probably even live in another country and with a lower cost of living, right? Which I have considered before. But and that's something that you have to work out with the organization, because some organizations require that you live in CONUS, that's continental United States. So Yeah, so just another thing that you could do, having read this, you could just get a remote job that pays six figures and then live wherever you want. That's a lot of people from California are doing, because there's a lot of tech jobs there, but it's just the cost of living, and there's so many people there now, and the people are moving out, like can't afford a place to live there and stuff. So that's just one option for you to consider. And then let me just read the rest of what he says. He says, I need to step up my game, get another certification, and apply for a mid-level security position. Like I said, one of the things you can consider is actually get that remote position, especially if you're in the government starting to open up to this more. Another thing you can consider is if you're open to travel, that's another way to get that to retain that six figures. Because you'll be traveling a lot. So especially if you're like an assessor and you're hitting up all these places, like you'll be traveling quite 50-60%, but it pays pretty good. I now have a year of experience, and I think I will probably do it. But it's always good to get a certification. But that mid level somewhere else still wouldn't pay as much. As like I said, the game has changed, and that's a lot of people just don't know. They just don't know. Like they haven't like opened up that third eye to other possibilities. Remote work. I've been doing it for quite a while, and now everybody else is starting to kind of, hey, I can work. I could work for any state I want. From any state I want. Now that COVID-19 is happening, that's opening up a lot of eyes. All right, so I think I'm gonna switch now to some resumes. It's gonna be brutal, and what I do with the resumes, if you've never seen me do this before, is I look at people's resume and I give suggestions on how they can make it better and make it more marketable, so that they can take that resume and then upload it onto different sites, and then they almost definitely will get more calls after they use my suggestions or not. Let me see. Before I do that, Chris says, "Will you do a video on continuous monitoring, how to have a better relationship with the SA security the system assessor, SA security system administrator?" Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, it's a great idea. That's a great idea. Um, your risk management course helped me gain clarity on preparation for the CAP exam. Wow, I'm glad that helped. I've got another one coming for the CAP exam, but it's not going to be out till like March or April or something. I've been talking about it for a long time, but there's a lot going on with it. So yeah, I've got another one, but I'm glad that it's helping, and there is about 40%, 50% of it can really help. It's very much in line with what you do in the CAP exam. So I took it in 2011, so a long time ago. Wow, I'm old. Okay, so let me see. I'm gonna do some resumes now. Resume time. So yeah, if you don't like boredom, you might want to run for the hills. All right, so here's my first resume up. Is going to be, now what I do is I change the names and numbers and stuff like that. People put their real stuff in there, so obviously I don't want people to get doxxed by crazy people on the internet. So I changed their name and everything, their location, so you don't have to be concerned about whether I'm doxing people. Okay, so TR does one of the techniques I use, which is to put the title of what you're trying to get up top. That's always good. This has, you want something keyword rich. I would probably use something a little bit better than this. I'd probably use like cybersecurity or something like that. So I'm just gonna go ahead and change it to cyber. Everybody's using the buzzword cyber this and cyber that. So I would say, let me just go ahead and do the edit suggestions here. And then I'm going to say, instead of IT, cyber, I'm going to say cybersecurity analyst. Right away, that keyword right there is gonna help them with the resume. This professional part right here, this is good for like LinkedIn. So LinkedIn and like Dice and stuff, they'll have like an about portion that you could put a certain amount of word in. So this is good. This is fine. This is not too long. Sometimes people like have a whole page worth of stuff. So this is, but let's see what the content says. I see some keywords. That's good. Skilled information technology, security analyst. So I would say cyber. Once again, we just want to use as many of the industry buzzwords as possible, you know, because the thing is, the people who are looking for you are using those industry buzzwords. Cyber security, you want to use it as much as possible because it works. Cybersecurity analyst with over 4 years of experience. 4 years. I think this is wrong. I would definitely double check Grammarly this thing right here. Always throw your stuff through Grammarly and spell check. Do as I say, not as I do, because I sometimes don't do it myself. But always grammar check it and stuff. Experience in security assessment and authorization. That's good. Knowledge of good. What we could put here is A and A. Sometimes people use A. Whoops, used the wrong bracket. A and A. So knowledgeable in risk management framework, and then I would add just in another thing you want to put if you are into this, NIST 837, because this is a good keyword. Another one is security compliance. Another one is like as much as you can. NIST 853, 853A, all those kinds of things. So, as a matter of fact, I'm going to put that in there. We're going to say security compliance, system development lifecycle. That's a good one. SDLC. Systems. Is it systems plural or is it system development lifecycle? Security lifecycle. I don't know what that is. I would just get rid of that. Doesn't even make sense. I would just get rid of that. We need as many keywords as possible, and that ain't one of them. And and vulnerability management. Oh, that's a good one. Using FISMA. That's fine. Okay. Applicable NIST standards. We kind of already mentioned the NIST above, so let's just go ahead and get rid of this so we can use more keywords. I'm just going to go ahead and take liberties with this thing. Using it. Okay. Certified information security auditor. Oh, he's got that. Oh, that certification. Ooh. Oh, that's juicy. See, I would put that right up top. I wouldn't even mess around. I would put it like right here. That's a really good one right here. As a matter of fact, that's his top certification. I will put that right up top. See this right here? CISA is a really good certification. That's right up there with, in some circles, CISA is right up there with the ISSP. CISA is Certified Information Security Auditor from ISSO, and the reason why it's really good is because a lot of banks and financial industries love this certification. So yeah, I would put CISA and then put the date that he passed it, like that or whatever, or the number or whatever. Like, I don't know if CISA, I don't have a CISA, if they actually have the code that symbolizes that you passed it. Okay, ability to facilitate security control assessment. Okay, continuous monitoring, provide a wide range of computer support with in-depth knowledge and understanding of various software package. Okay, that's fine. Kind of wordy at the end, but that'll do. And what we'll do is we will add all of the certifications up here. I think he probably added them at the bottom. Well, I hope he did. I hope so. Let me just switch screens here for a second, for 1 millisecond. All right. Get rid of some of this other stuff here. Boom, gone. What else? what else are we going to add to this one? The rest of this actually does not look bad. I would put this part up top. I will put this part up top. I'm just going to go ahead and add the education up here is what I would do. And then actually I would go ahead and grab the actual degree as well. Put that up top right along with the CISA. Another thing, like since he or she is a CISA, you could actually go for banks and stuff. In the U.S., this is a really good certification for banks and other financial institutions. Insurance places like it. Who else? Yeah, all those kinds of places are really into this cert. Okay, core competencies. I would put this at the bottom. Right, and the reason why I put this kind of stuff, this gigantic list of stuff at the bottom usually, is because I'm trying to get the technical recruiters or whoever, the screeners, attention immediately, and I want to grab their eyes with things like my certs, my education, my years of experience, which he puts up here on top, and then now we get to the meat of this thing. And I won't spend a lot of time on this because this is actually looking pretty good. Said he's a IT security analyst. Okay, I'm just gonna go ahead and change this. So IT means cyber means IT. So we're not lying here. Cyber security analyst, and then it says the name of the place, cybersecurity solutions, and it's talking about all the stuff that they do here. Provided security expertise and guidance in support of security assessments. Supported ANA and CNA activities according to the ANA project plan. And yeah, this is actually looking pretty good. This is looking pretty good, I think. I like this one. It's got a lot of good stuff in it. I would just add a few. Let me just see if I can add a couple more. Sprinkle some more keywords in this thing. Keyword goodness. Because this first one looks like really solid analyst assessor type stuff, which is really good. What kind of stuff do they like to see as assessor? He's got the security control assessor assessment in there a couple times, so that's really good. Continuous monitoring activities, that's really good. Let me see. You could put in here. So I would get rid of Rev 4 because they're already on Rev 5 right now. For this, oh no, they're not. This is 3A. Okay, my bad. Take that out. Let me see. What else can we do here? What can we? Ensured security, cybersecurity policies are adhered to and that require control. What? Ensured cybersecurity policies are adhered to. Stop. And that required control implementation. Oh, okay. This is like a run-on sentence. So this stuff like this needs Grammarly. That's why I said Grammarly right here. This is a Grammarly. I would add are adhered to. Okay, I'm gonna put a little note in here. Just say, where can I put it? Use Grammarly to fix as I spelled Grammarly wrong. To fix minor grammar errors. You know, if English is not your first language, you know, you're gonna make these. I mean, hell, I make the mistakes, and English is my only language, and I make these kind of mistakes. Let me see. Yeah, but you want to spell check and Grammarly. The rest of this is pretty good. Like, I would not go crazy on changing this. This is actually, I would still get rid of IT and say cybersecurity. In security right now, the keyword is cybersecurity, so you want to put that as much as possible. So All right, so that's good. I'm going to go to the next resume. Next resume. All right, let me make sure there's nothing crazy in here real quick. Bear with me while I quickly sort through this, make sure there's no craziness. Okay, this is all right. This is good. Not bad. Not bad. Not shabby. Okay, going to the top here, and this is for a. All right, so this one is. Oh God, this is. The format is messing with my head. Okay, so they're going for a risk management framework analyst position, I guess. I would put the position up top. You put your full first name, last name, and then you would put what I normally put is my highest level of certification. So their highest certification is Security Plus. Oh, they got AWS. Ooh, that's juicy. Security Plus. You could put right there. Security Plus is not the strongest certification. You might even just go with Security Plus, the AWS. I'll just put AWS. And Cloud Professional. He's Cloud Professional. As I said, AWS right here, right? AWS Solution Architect. Holy crap! Yeah, I would put that right up top. AWS Architect. As a matter of fact, let's just put AWS Architect. We'll get to the cloud later. AWS Architect. I don't know if I'm spelling that right. And I think that this person wanted to get into cybersecurity. So I would say right up here, cybersecurity professional. And this format, I'm not a, I don't really get big into the format. I don't really care about the format personally, because the reason why I don't care personally about the format is because the employers don't care about the format. When they're using their resume, I mean, it would be different if you were like a, I don't know, a graphics designer, and they want to see a pretty resume, or if you're an artist or something, you could do something creative with your resume. But this is IT. Like, they just want to know what you do, and they want to know if you can do it. So, they're not even, half the time, you're not giving them a piece of paper. You're going online, and they're finding, you got to make it so that they can find you, which means you got to go on LinkedIn, Dice, Monster.com, Indeed.com, CareerJet, anywhere and everywhere you want to put your resume, right? So the format itself isn't that important. That said, you don't want to have a bunch of misspellings. You don't want to have, of course, grammar. You got to look for that kind of stuff. You don't want the formatting to be all jacked up, just in case you have to upload your resume in there. So those are the kinds of things that you want to look out for as far as the format. But other than that, this format doesn't really matter that much, to be honest with you, for IT anyway. All right, so I'm just going to go ahead and center all this. Center this, and then I'm going to go here, and they have a summary here. I think this summary is a bit, I don't know if it's long or if it's probably just too much. The font's too big. Yeah, that's what the problem is. The font is huge. I'm just gonna, you know what, we're gonna just reduce this font a little bit. Can we just a little, it's like at 18, we want it to about 12. All right, that looks a little bit better. Okay, summary. The summary is a little bit, it's not keyword rich. You want to take advantage of the summary. It's an opportunity for you to really go to town and really put a lot of keywords in there. Okay, I don't know what's going on with my, something's happening here. What is going on with my name? Oh my God. What is happening with this thing? Okay, I did something wrong here. I'm just gonna go ahead and get rid of that and just put whatever their name is. Oh my gosh, what is happening? Okay, all right, they'll figure that out. I'm not gonna waste any time on it. Okay, I am confident. I'm confidential certified. Oh my Lord, this is, oh, what in the world is happening here? I'm confidential certified system authorization professional. Is that a thing? Is that a thing? Is there a confident? Hold on, I'm curious. What is that? What does that mean? I'm confidential. I am. Okay, hold on a second. Hold on, I lost it. I am confidential certified professional. Okay, is something seriously wrong? Because I don't. Yeah, that's messed up. I'll just, okay. Let me make a note to him. What cert is this? I think maybe this is a typo. They might mean that they're a confident certified authorization professional. Yeah. Victoria says nothing like that, Bruce. Yeah, I think that this is a typo. Oh, that is, oh my God. I hope they didn't put this everywhere because that is bad. I think they mean that they are a confident certified authorization professional. I don't know. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm just gonna leave it. And this is not good. I would take it out if I was them. I would definitely take that out. But I don't know what it is. I don't know what they're trying to say here, so I'm just gonna leave it alone. With 4 years diversified experience in, oh man, okay, yeah, use Grammarly. This is, all right, this is pretty bad. I'm gonna have to just move on. Use Grammarly and spell check. And spell check. Okay. Because I think what they mean is with 4 years of, I wouldn't say diversified. What do you mean? Diversified, diverse of experience in information assurance. That's an old term. Information assurance which includes system security, compliance, authorization, continuous monitoring, risk assessment, audit. Okay, so first of all, I would change information assurance to cybersecurity. Cybersecurity, experience in cybersecurity, which includes systems security, compliance. That's fine. Authorization, risk, okay. Audit, engagements, and then why do you capitalize each one of these? Each one is capitalized. Grammarly will fix that, I think. Let me see. Confidentiality, integrity, availability of the information system, resources. I also have a strong problem solving and project management skills. I also have strong problem solving and okay. Knowledgeable in risk management framework. Confidential risk. Okay, you don't need that. I don't know why I put that in there. And so, and another thing is, if you have a cap, then you probably want to put it up here. Oh man, this is really bothering me. This is just, all right. Email, cell, and then then oh yeah, okay. Here's what we're gonna do over here. We're gonna take the stuff down here, because actually AW, you might want to go into cloud. Cloud is paying like crazy money right now. Right now, if you have a choice between cloud and cybersecurity, you probably want to go with cloud. The fonts are different. Oh man, this is. I'm just gonna. Make sure font is the same throughout. Okay. What else we have going on here? Where? Oh yeah. So are they cap? I would totally put that up here. Certifications. Cap. So if they have that certifications, I'm saying like you want to put that up top. Essentially what it is, of course you want to identify yourself and immediately start with keywords. Their biggest, and if they have the cap, I would replace this with the cap. I would say cap, AWS architect. That's a pretty good certification. Right now, super hot. I would put what you're trying to go for, which is a cybersecurity professional. I'm guessing that's what he wants to do, or risk asset, whatever he wants to do. Risk management framework, SME, whatever you want to put. What job you're going for, you put it up there, and then up here. One of the problems here is that there's a lot of formatting issues that are very noticeable. So this, you really couldn't get away with all this. So anyway, let's get into the core skills. All right, now I would put this. I would not. So I don't like putting this on top like this because it just wastes time. It's just a waste of time. Like you don't want to waste anybody's time when they're going through 100 resumes. You want to get straight to the point. This stuff will be picked up by search engines, right? You just want to get straight to the point, which you kind of did with the summary, but you want to put probably more keywords in here is what I would do. And then security tools. Okay, yeah, I would also remove this and put it at the bottom. This is just my 2 cents. It's just what I would. Didn't mean to move that other part, because this stuff gets picked up by the search engine. So if you have a list of items, you want to put them in your resume, but not on the top, because what people want to see is what you can do, and you want to get to what you can do as fast as possible. The thing that they're going to look for is, do they have certification? There's like quick things that they're going to look at and say, okay, does this guy have a certification? Check. Does this person have a degree? Check. Does this person have X years of experience? Check. Okay, now let me look at what they do. Because if you don't have one of those things and it's not on their checklist, they're not going to read the next resume. So you want to be quick about getting to those facts, and then straight into what you do and your experience. Your experience is going to be the thing that's going to give you the job. Once you get through all those requirements that they have, then it's all about experience. What did you do? Can you do this job? Because that's what they want to know. Can you do this job? Let me see. Actively coordinate with the infrastructure team and security engineers to stand up servers, plan, develop, implement, and test applicable security controls. That's actually really good. That's really well done. Liaison with multiple teams within the confidential 2020 decennial project to identify and address IT security, compliance, and information issues. Okay, this is an opportunity to use the buzzword cybersecurity. Good old cybersecurity, compliance, and information assurance issues. That's cool. All right, let's get to the plan of action milestone. Coordinate weekly ISSO meetings to review open system plan of action and milestones. and establish confidential comprehensive plan for remediation. Okay. Plan of okay. POAM. I would actually probably want to just put POAM. And that's the thing. Probably want to do both in the resume, because some people will search POA ampersand M, and then some will just put POAM. So you probably want both in your resume, just in case one of those keywords is used, because they're actually different, keywords. Okay, yeah, this is actually not looking too bad. The actual meat of what this person does, pretty solid, pretty good stuff. Yep, exactly. Look at that. There's good stuff in here. Wow. So yeah, let me just put a note so they know what's going on here. Exacta, I'll say. Make sure you use both POAM and POA and M. Let's say pro tip. Cynthia says, "Hi Bruce. What happens if you do not have any certifications but you have a master's degree in education?" Are you trying to get into this field, into risk management framework, or into cybersecurity? I get this question a lot. So organizations, it really depends on where you're at. Like if you have a degree in education, they're typically looking for a degree in STEM. That's STEM is oh my gosh, what's wrong with me? Science, technology, engineering, mathematics. That they're looking for one of those, or straight up computer degree. I'm not saying it's out of the question, because there's things that you could do with an education degree that are on the sidelines of IT. Like it's for example, you could do you can do program management. So program management, just to give you an example, at the last 3 organizations I worked at, we can't do a lot of work without a program manager, because we have too many moving parts. We're working on gigantic systems where and the question is, can you get into IT? Can you get into IT or cybersecurity or risk management with a master's degree in education, or a master's degree, or a degree in anything other than science, technology, engineering, mathematics, or computers, sort of computer information security, information IT degree? Can you do it? It's gonna be I'm not gonna say no, but because experience is really what matters the most in IT. The way this is experience, then a degree in one of those STEM, and then experience, and then a certification. So some people think, I get the certification, boom, I'm in. That's no. It's the actual experience is what matters the most. So let's say you had a master's degree in education, or a master's degree in liberal arts or something, but you have 3 years of experience on a help desk. So that actually outweighs somebody who has a security plus with 0 experience. If you have 3 years of IT experience, but you have a master's degree in liberal arts, you are already way above a person with 0 experience who has a security plus. So that's the weight that's happening. So if I had a master's degree in education and I wanted to get into this field, there's a couple of things. Knowing what I know now, there's a couple things you could do that pay as good or better than average IT jobs, where you can still actually have a little bite of IT, and that is program managers. So program managers is a very important key role in this space. Program managers, what they do, it's not super technical, all right? But program managers, what they do is they manage the programs. So you have these large programs, and they're responsible for keeping everybody in line, in check, and making sure that the security system, the information system security officers are doing their task, and the the system engineers are doing what they're supposed to do, and they're bringing the managers in and being on the calls and saying, okay, on this date you were supposed to do this. Did you do it? Yes, I'm doing it. We're going to be done with it by today. Okay, security team, we have this, and we have to put the security controls on this server. How far are you guys away on that? So those milestones that they hit and stuff. I would highly suggest if you have no technical background, but you want to get into this space because you want to get into something that's going to pay you, that's going to reward you for your work with money. It's not going to emotionally destroy you, and it's a growing industry. Then program management is a really good one. And there's program managers who specialize in information technology, by the way. I've had program managers who get a Security Plus so they can know how to help us out better, how to help the technical people better, how to understand the verbiage and terminology that they're using. I know some, actually on the current job I'm at, our program manager sits in some of our technical classes with us because there's so many moving parts and pieces that it really will help if he knows what's going on when we're talking about stuff. And sometimes they have to take the notes on what we're saying, and the more they understand, the more they can help us out. So program manager is a really good one. If you're trying to get technical, then I would suggest starting from the bottom, and that means getting like a help desk job or a customer service job, and to see if you like it. If you happen to already be working at some organization, what you could do is volunteer your time to start to get that experience. Start from the bottom. Volunteer your time. They might even do a lateral change for you. You could even do a lateral move from one, let's say you're in the admin office, and you see the IT guys who fix the routers and the Wi-Fi or whatever, and your organization hires like one or two of those people. Go talk to them and be like, hey, how's this job? You want to just sit down and talk to them and say, hey, I'm thinking about making a lateral change. I'm thinking about actually getting into IT. What do you recommend? And just listen to what they have to say. They might say nah, you don't want to get into this. It sucks. You don't know. But 9 times out of 10, they're going to be anxious to actually talk to you about what they do, because some of those IT guys are excited about technology, and it's a growing industry, and it pays really good. Like the first jobs you get are not going to pay well, but it's the lateral, the movement up is very rewarding. So you can just keep going up. It just keeps expanding, right? It's a job in the background that pays pretty good, pays the bills, is pretty solid. I've never been out of work since I've been. I can get a job within days, because there's a huge need for what we do, and that goes also for program manager. Now, if you look up program, you know what? I'm just gonna show you right now. This will convince you. If I was in the same position, now it also depends on what you want to do. If you're super into IT, you're super excited about it, and that's why you want to do this, then just go ahead and go talk to program manager. Go ahead and talk to one of the IT guys, ask them about their job, and see what they have to say about it. But I would seriously, know what I know now, I would seriously consider a program manager position. It's not super technical. There is a learning curve. You're gonna have to learn some things. Not everybody can do this job, but look at the salary cap on it, And I would say, not everybody can do this. This is people who have to be able to talk to people, and a lot of IT guys can't do this job. Just being perfectly honest with you. because we're not the talkative type. But program managers have to be able to talk to people, have to be able to know the program enough to help. But look at that salary cap. Look at that range. Look at this. The next thing you should be asking is, how do I do programming? Where do I even start? And that's for you to Google and you to find out. I would highly recommend, if you're not a technical person, going into program manager. I've actually thought about program management before. I've thought about getting a certification in it because it's just because it pays really good, and I feel like I could do it. So yeah, I hope that helps you out. But to answer your question, they're looking for experience first, second, a degree in STEM or a computer degree, and then lastly, a certification. Magically having a certification doesn't open the door for you. Like a lot of people think that that's the case. It's just not. All it does is help you it helps you to upgrade. It can help you to compete with other people in the industry, but it's not a magic wand. All right, I'm gonna go through another boring ass resume. So I go through so many of these, it kind of gets old after a while. But yeah, I'm here to help, so that's what I'm gonna do. All right, so this one's coming from Angela, and she wanted me to look at her resume, so I'm just gonna go through this pretty quick here. Let me turn on the suggestions. And so right away, let's see. She's got a master's degree in informatics, health informatics from Kaplan University, and a bachelor's degree in therapeutic recreation. Okay, let's just cut to the chase. Does she have experience? This is the kind of thing that recruiters are doing. They're just gonna look like, okay, she doesn't have the degree I want. Does she have experience? Yes. Okay. Looks like she's been doing this stuff in hospitals for a long time. We're looking for somebody in this field in the hospitals, so that she has a security plus. That's active. That's good. Okay. She's got experience with security compliance. That's good. Okay. Let's see what we have to work with here. So first of all, since she has Security Plus, I would just go ahead and put right up here her highest certification of Security Plus. Now, if she had a master's degree in cybersecurity, I'll put a master's degree up top. But she has it in a master's degree in science in health informatics. So I don't know if that helps us. I don't even know what that is. So I'm going to see what that is real quick. What is that? Okay, so healthcare informatics or biomedical informatics is a branch of science and engineering that applies informatic field to medicine. Oh, interesting. All right, so they're looking at data on the human body. Health domain provides extremely wide. Okay, well that's okay. So it's an actual IT degree. So I would put that on top. I would put that on top. I would say MS and Security Plus, and then on the next line, she could put what she's going after. I'm gonna have to guess what she's going after. I don't remember what her email said. I'm gonna assume it's cybersecurity analyst. Cybersecurity analyst. Okay, I don't know if that's spelled right, but close enough. All right, look at this. Now I'm seeing some good stuff in here. So it's a bit wordy, but I'm seeing some really good stuff. I see PCI, DSS, HIPAA. So all this stuff she has in here is security compliance. So this is a lot of stuff that's going to get her foot in the door with a lot of good paying security compliance type jobs. So it's looking pretty good. Security Plus, put the degree stuff on top. That's excellent. Frameworks, I would personally put this at the bottom. I would personally, because it's gonna get searched and it'll pick it up. So we just wanted to get straight into the actual meat as fast as possible. So I'll put this at the bottom personally, and then I would probably shorten this up. I'm an enthusiastic person seeking a job engagement. Seeking a job engagement as a security. Wait, what? Seeking a position. A position as a position as a cybersecurity specialist or a system control auditor. System control auditor. Okay. I don't really know what that is. I would probably put security control assessor would probably be a better, but maybe that's really what she's going for. I'll say, do you mean a security control assessor? Because that would be a better keyword if she does mean that. In a growth-oriented environment where I can bring my skills and specialties to support the organization. My past experience have been in a risk specialist role for FISMA NIST risk management framework. Oh wow. Control assessment, security, you know what we're gonna say, security control assessment, SCA, and system security monitoring. System security monitoring. Yeah, that's good. I have also developed a vast array of skills in the private sector, Sarbanes-Oxley, payment system, COBITS. Okay, we're gonna put SOX. I think that's the breakdown for Sarbanes-Oxley. I'm also skilled in technical documentation such as security policies, procedures, standards, guidelines. Wow, this is actually really good. It's pretty solid resume for somebody trying to get this job. IT security analyst. Okay, I would say, hey Mike, how's it going? I'm just reviewing some resumes that I've been putting off for a while. Cybersecurity analyst. And maybe the position was for IT security analyst, but cyber, IT kind of mean the same thing. Cyber vision, auditing systems, security installation to ensure the confidentiality, integrity, and availability of the system compliance. Conducting continuous system monitoring. I would just say continuous monitoring. So that's a key phrase right there. Continuous monitoring to avoid potential future vulnerabilities. I would say potential vulnerabilities and threats. Mike says, by the way, I purchased your ISSO class. Oh man, congrats, man. You have any questions, anything you want to review your resume or something like that? I'm here. That's what I do. Using UTM methods such as IDS, IPS to help analyze. This is actually really good. This is actually pretty well done. This is not a bad resume at all. The formatting's a little crazy. I would avoid this numbering crap. Like this is not. I would not do this numbering. That's just throwing everything off. And then if you upload this resume into a one of those sites, it's gonna be all messed up. So I would get rid of the numbering. But other than that, it's actually pretty solid resume, I would say. Okay, am I missing something? I feel like I'm missing something here. Okay, she's got a certification. She's got associate health information managing. Okay. I feel like there was something I saw here that was really good. Well, she has her degrees and everything. This is actually a good resume. I wouldn't change a lot. I sent you an email about that too. Okay. All right, I'll get to that. All right, so now here I am on Dan's resume. This is this is not the last resume. Oh my God, this is a lot of resumes. This is brutal. Oh man. Okay. Anyway, I'm just gonna get through this. Okay, information security officer. Okay, good. What's the top certification? Okay, this is actually remote work preferred, BS, and all right, cybersecurity preparation. All right, okay, the top's good, solid. CISSP in progress, smart man. That's how you do it. SS says, Bruce, it's been a while, so glad you're still doing these videos. Yeah, you mean the resume ones? Yeah, I don't. They're just. It just kind of gets monotonous after a while doing a few of these. But yeah, I I know it helps out a lot, so it's cool. All right, IT specialist, cybersecurity system steward, SMS data products. All right. Primary responsibilities include, but not limited to. Not limited to. Okay, I need to turn on my suggestions here. No, I mean the RMF in general. Oh, okay, yeah, yes, I enjoy that. I enjoy making videos. I actually enjoy making these videos. Just the resume ones, I don't know. It just feels like homework. Gathering all the documentation for the organization to prepare for security audits. Okay, what kind of security audits are we talking about? Developed and implemented the system security plans and demonstrated the subject matter expertise for NIST 837 risk management framework, FISMA, and NIST controls compliance. Okay, so right, responsible for updating and maintaining the plan of action and milestones, POAM, POA&M, and other required security documentation, rewarded for providing security risk assessments that were comprehensive and audit ready. Well, that's great. That's awesome. So are these the same? These are okay. These are all different positions, all the way back to the U.S. Navy. All right, that's good to go. It's not bad, actually. Not bad. I feel like we're missing some keywords, but this is not too bad. Cybersecurity compliance manager provided subject matter expertise and gave recommendations based on HIPAA security rule and to ensure compliance. Created and maintained the project. I would remove Stewart. Where is that at? Where did I see that? Did I just read that? Steward. System steward. Is there a better word for steward? I mean, if that's the name of the actual position, IT specialist, cybersecurity systems steward. Do they mean information system security officer? Because I would use that instead. If that's what the position is, I would use that. Like what they could probably do is say, if this was the case, and I don't know if it's the case, but this position sounds like it's an ISSO position. So, because they're developing analyst. So position they're going for is, I'm assuming the position they're going for is the information system security officer, which now that I'm looking at this, it kind of looks crazy. Let me see. I'm just gonna change this up real quick. Oh, whoa, didn't mean to do that. Oh, never heard of Stewart. I've heard of it before. That's a thing, but it's not. But you're right, in that it's not going to be marketable. It's not a marketable term. So, yeah, probably that's actually a good point. Information system security analyst would be better. Specialist would be better. Almost any word would be better than Stewart. Almost any word would be better. That's actually a good point. System security. Okay, yeah. Thank you for that input. Appreciate that. Not a marketable term. Yeah, so that's a great point. Like, what we're looking for is marketable. When you're going through your resume, you're looking for marketable terms. Like, you're looking for, and then for that, you have to kind of know what the market is, right? Like, and one thing that you could do to see what the marketable terms are, what those buzzwords are, is to go on LinkedIn and read other people's resume. And then read not just one, but go through like 10 of them. After a while, you'll notice that there's a pattern and there's a language that people are using over and over again. Like, instead of IT, especially in cybersecurity, instead of IT, you'll see them use terms like cyber this, cyber that, right? And you'll notice like certain certifications are kind of floated a little bit more than others. Like, you'll see more of a security plus rather than a SA plus. So there's just certain things, or CNSSI. I don't know. So security plus is more popular, is what I'm trying to say. Security plus is more popular. CISSP is very popular certificate. You start to get an idea of what people are putting on their resume, and then what you want to also do is go to the actual employers and look through the descriptions. The descriptions are going to literally tell you what they require and what they prefer. And that also will give you an idea of what terms and what skills and what tools to put on your resume. So that's one thing that you should definitely do as you're putting your own resume together. All right, I'm going to look through a little bit. One more of these. I've been doing this for like an hour, so it's getting kind of ridiculous at this point. But this will be my last one. I would like your take on the SolarWinds. Have you watched the documentary Imperfect Weapon on HBO? SolarWinds issue is something I would definitely like to talk about. I would like to put something very quick together on my channel and take some time to really hit all the points on what's going on with it. But yes, I'm very aware of what's going on with that. Mike says, Bruce, I know you get tons of emails. Do you have do I have to contact you though through the ISSO course for you to check on my resume? Send me your resume. I'm trying to go for remote work. Send me your resume. Just email me and send me your resume, and I'll look through it. Now keep in mind, I'm way behind. I just did like 5 of them tonight, but I've got more to do, so I'm pretty behind. So here's my if you didn't know, if you go through my course, you'll see my actual email. But here it is right here, just in case you don't have it. It's cyberaware2020@gmail.com. That's it right there. I spelled aware wrong. cyberaware2020@gmail.com. That's my email. Message me, send me your resume. I will take a look at it. I'm gonna have to start restricting this to only people who've gone through the course, because it's getting kind of crazy. The free is starting to get way harder to do. No problem, man. No problem. Said A Perfect Weapon, HBO. Okay, I'll check that out. It's exactly what's going on, and it came out in October. You must watch for. It's a must watch for cyber professionals. Okay. The documentary Perfect Weapon is a must. Okay. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna check it out. I'll go look at that, see what's going on with that one. Can you tell me, please, what websites we can post our resume on for jobs? Thanks. Yes, I'll do it as we're going through this. All right, starting from the top. What I would like to do here is I like to put my highest certification here. This dude is certification rich. He is wealthy in certifications. And this is actually a well put together resume. It looks really nice. I like the format of it. All right, so it looks like Cloud Professional is the high. He's got Qualys. He's got a clearance. This is actually a really good resume. Good, nice. I would put AWS certified up top. I'll put this right here up top. Now, when I'm doing resumes, I'm thinking in my mind, where am I going to post this thing? Because the most equally important to having a decent resume is marketing yourself. I have a whole course about this if you didn't know. And that course goes into great detail about what I do to always have not only a job, but a high paying job. And that course, I've got actually a few courses on on how to do it. This one right here, resume marketing for cybersecurity IT. The detail that I go into on this one is like all the way down to literally walking you through how to put what I post in there, how to post like line by line. How do I post information in LinkedIn? How do I search them? Not only that, but how to set it all up. And if you're interested in this, there's actually some free previews of it. Like the first parts of it is actually free to go ahead and look at it, and you can say, well, nah, this is not worth what I want to get into this. I'd rather just pilfer all Bruce's free stuff off the internet. You could totally do that. But because I got a ton of stuff on this channel, to be honest with you. But this goes a little further. This goes into how do you research the highest marketing, the highest paying jobs. What are the keywords they use to get into those high paying jobs? How do I put my resume together? All the stuff I'm showing you here, I go into great detail about how I put my resume, put what I put on my resume, and then a sample of my resume, and then how it's packed with keywords, and then how I found those keywords. Free resources on how to actually put together a resume without paying anyone. I go into LinkedIn. I walk you through exactly you got to put your stuff on LinkedIn. You got to put your stuff on Indeed. You got to put your stuff on CareerJet. You got to put your stuff on Monster.com. There's little tricks and stuff that I use for each one of these, and I go into that on the actual resume. Yeah, all that stuff is here. All that stuff is in this course. Check it out. It's worth your time. It's worth your time signing up and getting some free stuff. Yeah, there's just a lot of stuff out there, and I do from time to time. I'll add more stuff to it, and a lot of times I get special treatment for my students. Like if you paid for something, I feel obligated to help you out even further. So just keep that in mind. There's the course right there. It's on ConvoCourses.com. It's called Resume Marketing for Cybersecurity and IT. It's not just about putting the stuff I'm showing you here. That's just the tip of the iceberg. I go into like my methods, how I got out of the military. Just to give you an example, I got out of the military in 2003. I've had a job every year. I've never been out of work. As soon as it's not like I haven't been. The contract didn't let be. I've been on contracts that ended, or I've wanted to leave, go to another job and stuff like that. But what I'm saying is, as soon as, let's say, this contract with this organization ends, I just have my resume out there all the time. I'm constantly being contacted by employers. So much so that sometimes I have to turn the resumes off. I literally have to turn the resumes off because I get too many offers. Just yesterday, I got 2 offers from the same company for different jobs in the city. Like it gets annoying after a while, to be honest with you. Even during COVID-19, I'm still getting. It's because I use that, because I market myself. That's why. It's not just about this resume. That's half the battle. You have to market the hell out of yourself, and I show you how to do that. So if you're interested in that, go ahead and go check that out. All right. So let's get back into this resume. So it's saying here, Victor, AWS certified cloud practitioner. Okay. Another thing I do in my resume is I'll put what job I'm going for. So I don't really know what job this person's going for. I don't know. So I would put cyber security analyst. Kind of catch-all. It means many things to many people. This is all good. That's cool. Military veteran with 5 years of experience in information technology systems. I would just say cybersecurity. With cybersecurity, let me just put suggestions on. And information technology system. Well, okay, you could leave that. And just put cybersecurity. Cybersecurity, managing people, budgets, and projects. Experience conducting. See how he gets straight to the point? You can tell this guy's a veteran. Because in the military, they teach you to write by just getting straight to the point. Not even messing around. Go straight to the point. Don't mess around. A lot of people who haven't been in the military, they don't know this little trick. Get to the point. So the thing is, technical recruiters are going through hundreds of different resumes. So if you don't get to the point fast, they're just going to go to the next one. Get to the point. Experience conducting risk assurance. Risk assurance. What is risk assurance? See, one of the problems that some of the military guys have is that they use terms that are not used in the actual private sector. So conducting risk assessments, vulnerability assessments, and security event detection on various platforms. He's got a, let me just put, I would put like, you already put certifications below, so why are you putting them again? Pursuing a CISSP, well, that's fine. It's not too long-winded, so this isn't causing any problems. You can be redundant here. Active security clearance, that's awesome. Operations, I would get rid of all of this. This is useless. The rest of this is great. Security Plus, CompTIA, AWS. This stuff is good. Certified, CCNA, Cisco. Yeah, this is really good stuff. Technical competencies. I usually put all this kind of stuff at the bottom. I put this stuff at the bottom. And then, let me see. Okay, that's fine. I would put this at the bottom. Because thing is, this stuff is good for search engines, but not good for people who are reading it. You know what I mean? And I'll just make them a note and say, put this at the bottom in the normal format. In your format. In your format, not normal. Your format. Okay. And then I'm just going to read one of these. Technical skill training, cybersecurity analyst, labs experience. Syracuse, performing vulnerability management on virtual endpoints to remediate risk risks to perform patch management, PCI compliance scanning, test, and reporting to ensure compliance with PCI DSS standard, web application standards. This is incredible. This is really good stuff right here. This is a solid resume. Yep, this I don't really have anything else to say about this. This is really good. Yeah, this one's really good. All right, so I think I'm done with that for now. That's awesome. Wow, that was brutal. That was torturous. All right, let me see. We got some people in the chat here. It says, whoa, there's a lot of conversation here. Bruce, I'm within the DMV, so I'm recruiting. I spoke this week, wanted 7 years of experience. Before I leave, Bruce, thanks for everything you have done for cyber community. You have taken my career to the next level with your training, and I have done their risk management. Oh man, thanks for saying that. I appreciate that. I'm currently going through the security controls one, and it's awesome. I highly recommend it to everybody. Yeah, you need to get it before it goes up in price, which is gonna be soon. Experience of yeah. But going back to this one, okay, Bruce, I'm within the DMV. Oh, the DMV. That's the isn't that Maryland area? Is that the Maryland DC area, or is that what DMV means? Some recruiters I spoke to wanted 7. I mean, if they want 7 years experience, man, and you have 3, go for a job that has 3 years of experience. You know, you don't want a job that's asking for. Look, if I'm in cloud and I have 1 year experience, I don't want a job that is asking me for 7 years of experience, because I'm gonna get in there and they're gonna be like, hey, we want you to reconfigure this entire infrastructure. I don't know how to do that, you know. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know how to. We want you to rewire all of this stuff across 3 different platforms. You know, I don't know how to do that. You know, I don't want them to ask me to do some stuff I don't know how to do. So if they want that many years of experience, or if they want something that's out of pocket, something that's outside of your expertise, don't do it. Don't put yourself in that position. Even if they gave you the job, it's gonna be a nightmare, because it's not your wheelhouse. You're not comfortable doing it. You want something that you can grow into. You know what I mean? Don't try to. I mean, it's okay, I think, to reach. To punch above your weight, you know, meaning reach for something a little bit harder, something like that, but a little bit harder, something a little bit more challenging, because you're trying to get stability. I mean, at least that's my mentality. I'm trying to get stability for me and my family. If I'm trying to go for some director job that I've never done directing, I've never been a director of an organization before, I don't want to do that. I don't want to put myself through that kind of stress. I've never done it before. It's going to be me doing some stuff that's completely outside of my, you know, and I mean, maybe if I was a younger dude and I was like really wanting to be a director and stuff, and I really wanted to be a manager of information security for the DMV area or something like that, and it's my dream or something, then yeah, but I'm trying to just get paid. That's it. I'm trying to get paid. I'm trying to level up my expertise. I'm trying to feed my kids and pay for my mortgage. You know what I mean? Maybe invest some money into my businesses. That's all. I'm a simple man, you know. Spencer says, hey Bruce, I'm making a SSP right now. My question is, when I'm using the CNSSI 1253 to make a baseline set of controls, and let's say the category is MHH, does this mean that every control that has the X in moderate is a control I put on the baseline? Man, I haven't messed with the NSSI 1213 for a long time. So that's an overlay for the NIST controls. I know what it is. I have not messed with it. I'd have to look at it. Yeah, let me see. Mike, do you know Do you have an answer for Spencer? Let me see if I can bring that up real quick. 1253 spreadsheet, and you're saying categorization is a moderate high, right? Is that what you mean? And does this mean that every control that has an X? Yep, that's the DoD. My man Mike knows what's up. All right, I'm gonna show this. I'm not gonna pretend that I'm an expert on these controls. I'm just gonna take a look at it. I'm just out of curiosity. I know the NIST code, DoD overlays, not so much. Mike is saying all of those go to high. So this is the 1253. High watermark. So do they not use the high watermark? Oh, this is actually a good question, Mike. Let's go to the expertise of Mike. Okay, I'm assuming you're talking about this baseline here. This is the NSS, National System Security Controls overlay for DoD. And you're saying that if it goes to, what was your question? That's it. That's the document. Yes. Yeah, I've definitely played with this before, but it's been a while. He says, let's say that the category is MHH or moderate high. Does that mean that every control that is marked X is moderate is a control I put in the baseline? No, they do not use the high watermark. Oh, because it's a national security system. They don't use high watermark. Yeah, Mike, they do a little bit different with the national security systems, right? Right, Spencer? You're jogging my memory here, man. And I'm looking for, are you using EMAS? Let me see if I can turn on the chat here so everybody can see this. Chat box. All right, bear with me as I turn on the chat. All right, I don't know if that's working. Are you using EMAS? Yes. Of course he's using EMAS. This is DoD, home of EMAS. Or Exacta. Or Archer. So if it is a moderate in C, but not in A, that would still, okay, could you tell me what part you're talking about? If it is a moderate in C and not in A, I want to know specifically what you're talking about here. Is it, give me a page, like give me a specific example. I'm curious now. Okay, I will go for another system that is related and use similar overlay. Look at AC2. Okay, AC2 is access control 2. Okay, like this. AC2. Confidentiality. Oh, moderate in confidentiality. Okay. So moderate in confidentiality. AC2. So Mike, you're saying this would be a high in confidentiality because the highest. Sure, there is not a high in availability. Sure, so there's not a high in availability. But the moderate is but a moderate in confidentiality. Is that determined by the organization? Or how strictly do they go by this, the DoD? When I was in the DoD, they were still using DIACAP. So just to give you an idea of how long ago it was. They were just starting to talk about using this thing, overlay for the NIST. So it was a while ago. Okay, let me see. So Mike is saying, check the other document, previous one. Spencer says, if the system is categorized as a moderate, high, I would still use AC2 because it is an moderate confidentiality, even though it is not a high in availability. Even though it's not a high in availability. So you're saying this overall, okay, let me see if I understand what you're saying. You're saying that AC, or maybe I completely don't get it. So you're saying that AC2 would be considered overall a high or a moderate because why? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, I'm lost. I am lost. I'm actually learning something here right now, live in front of 18 viewers. So yeah, this little matrix here, if you guys, if somebody's watching this, don't know what the hell we're talking about or what the hell we're looking at. So this document is for national control centers to have an extra layer of security. It's what national security systems use as their baseline of security controls. Security control are how you harden a system, how you make it so that it's not completely open to the world and get solar wind. No, he's okay. Mike says no, he's asking if availability is high because the others are on high. It's a good question. So I would imagine, now I could be totally wrong here, but just give me a minute to speculate here. So I would imagine that this is completely up to the organization. I could be wrong, but I think that the organization would be able to tailor in. If the organization could say, look, account management is important to us, and availability is we need it. We're gonna say it's low. So they could take the baseline control isn't the end all be all. The baseline of controls is the minimum of what is suggested, and then the organization can come in and say, hey, we want you to apply availability, and here is why. At least in the organizations I've been in that are federal organizations, that's kind of what they've done. They'll say, okay, AC2, yes, it's showing here as a high, and yes, that's important, but we also want to put in, they can literally tailor that in and say, yes, we want to apply that to it. But I could be wrong, but that's That's what I've seen organizations do. But then again, we're not. It wasn't a national security system, so that might have something. They might do something different. Sorry I couldn't be of more help to you, Spencer. Spencer says, sorry, no worries. Yeah, I mean, because I see what Mike is saying. He's talking about the high watermark, but national security systems doesn't. I believe it doesn't apply to that, but could be wrong. Yeah, no problem. I always do. All right, guys, I'm out of here. This has been a long one. Oh my God, I've been on here for like 2 hours. It's time for me to get off of here. This is crazy. Um, Thanks for that question, Spencer. That's I don't know. I fear every day, every time I'm on these lives, I fear somebody's gonna ask me that very question that you just asked about the CNSSI 1253 because I don't know it. Oh, I knew that question was coming and it came. So, but thanks. Uh, and that's it, guys. Thanks, everybody. Appreciate you guys. I'm out of here. Bruce, 1 minute on controls. Explain about the course. Um, 1 minute on control. Okay, what's the question? Last question. Very, very last question. 1 minute on controls about the course. Are you talking about the risk management framework security control course? Cynthia, no problem. No problem at all. Program manager. And actually, I think that would be perfect for an educator because that's kind of program manager are kind of like the teacher of the class. What's it all about? I want to take it to. Oh, okay. Quickly. Okay. So this one right here. So I've got two courses that focus on risk management framework for an information system security officer is the focus. Both of them are from the information system security officer's perspective. The first one breaks down the entire process from a bird's eye view and does get into some details, but mainly from a bird's eye view and the perspective of an ISSO going into the risk management framework process. Like, what should you do? Like, what's the mindset of a risk management of an ISSO doing the risk management framework, and then what kind of tasks are you supposed to do to get a very solid understanding of what the job is start to finish. The security controls and documentation, it's actually what do you write? If you're writing a policy, how do you write a policy? Why do you write a policy? What how do you interpret the AC family of controls? The interpretation of the AC family of controls. It's got about 9 hours so it's more of a reference, really, because it's just very comprehensive. It goes into the AU controls. It goes into the AT controls. It goes into CM controls. The interpretation of what, because a lot of times the ISSOs don't know how to interpret the way that the controls are worded. It's just confusing sometimes. So what I'm doing is going through the family of controls and saying, okay, here's what it means, and here's the documentation you use, and here's who you contact. Here are your stakeholders. Here's what it looks like on plan of action and milestone. Here's how you write a plan of action and milestone. Here's how it links into the laws. Those are the kinds of things that I go through on that particular course. So it's going to be more focused on interpretation and documentation of the controls. So that's what it's all about. All right, guys, I'm out of here. I'm exhausted. It's been a very long session.